Have you ever had a nightmare so vivid it felt real? What if, when you woke up, it actually was? For one boy, this isn't just a scary thought. It's his daily reality. This is the story of Raito Mugen, the boy cursed with a terrifying power to dream enemies into existence. From the day he was born, Raito carried a heavy burden. He possessed a unique and horrifying gift. Anything he dreamed, no matter how monstrous or fantastical, would manifest in the real world the instant he drifted off to sleep. His dreams weren't just fleeting images in his mind. They were a gateway, a bridge between the boundless realm of his imagination and the fragile fabric of reality. For most children, bedtime is a comfort, a peaceful escape. For Raito, it was a source of constant, gut-wrenching dread. This wasn't some minor inconvenience, like dreaming of a spider and finding one on your pillow. Raito's dreams were grand, chaotic, and utterly devastating. The true, earth-shattering scale of his power was revealed on a night that would forever scar his village and his soul. He was just 7 years old, a child who loved stories of ancient beasts and epic battles. One evening, after hearing a tale of a colossal serpent that could swallow mountains, he went to sleep. That night, his innocent, childish imagination conjured the very same creature. As Raito slept soundly in his small bed, a monstrous serpent, scaled in obsidian and with eyes like molten gold, burst into reality. It towered over the humble homes of his village, its immense body coiling around hillsides, its hiss echoing like a storm. Panic erupted. The serpent, a mindless creature born of a child's dream, thrashed and coiled, leveling homes, splintering ancient trees, and carving a path of destruction. By the time the sun rose, half the village lay in ruins. The creature, its dream energy spent, simply faded into mist, leaving behind a scene of absolute devastation and a 7-year-old boy waking up to a world he had unintentionally destroyed. The villagers, who had once looked at Raito with warmth, now saw a monster. Fear and anger replaced kindness. He was an outcast, a living cataclysm who could wipe them all out with a single bad dream. The weight of his guilt was immense. Every shattered home, every frightened face, was a testament to the danger that lived inside him. He knew he could never sleep peacefully again. To survive, and more importantly, to protect everyone else, Raito had to find a way to control the uncontrollable. He discovered ancient, fragile paper talismans, inscribed with seals designed to interfere with the deep, creative phases of sleep. He began covering his body with them every night, these thin pieces of paper becoming his only armor against his own mind. These shallow sleep talismans were his salvation and his prison. They kept him in a state of perpetual exhaustion, a twilight realm between waking and true rest. His dreams became weak, blurry, indistinct smudges of thought. The creatures that managed to slip through were frail, pathetic shadows of what they could have been, wispy, harmless specters that would dissolve in seconds. For years, this was Raito's life, a constant, weary existence on the edge of consciousness. He traveled alone, a pariah avoiding connection, knowing that getting close to anyone meant putting them in mortal danger. He was a ghost in his own life, haunted by the memory of the serpent and the potential for even greater destruction locked away in his mind. He subsisted on what little he could find, forever moving, forever tired, forever alone. But the world is a dangerous place, and trouble has a way of finding those who don't seek it. Bandits, rogue samurai, and creatures of actual folklore often cross his path. In these moments of dire threat, when his life was on the line, Raito had a terrifying choice to make. He could face certain death, or he could unleash the very power he had spent his life suppressing. When danger becomes inescapable, a quiet resolve settles over Raito. He reaches for one of the many talismans stuck to his skin. With a steady hand, he peels off a single paper seal. It's a small act, but the consequences are monumental. The moment the talisman is removed, it's like a dam has been breached. The full, vibrant, terrifying power of his subconscious mind begins to flood back. He allows himself to slip deeper, past the shallow fog and into the rich, fertile ground of true sleep. And that's when the magic and the horror begins. The deeper he sleeps, the stronger his dreams become. If he rests for just a few moments, he might dream up a pack of swift, snarling dream wolves with teeth like daggers. They materialize from thin air, their forms coalescing from shadow and moonlight, and launch themselves at his enemies with silent, deadly precision. They fight with a feral intelligence, protecting their sleeping creator before dissolving back into nothingness once the threat is gone. But what if the danger is greater? What if he's facing a small army or a truly formidable foe? In those cases, Raito has to risk more. He removes another talisman and another, letting himself fall into an even deeper, more vulnerable state of slumber. The longer he sleeps, the more intricate and powerful his dream creations become. Imagine him cornered by a dozen armored mercenaries. He lies down, removes 3 talismans, and closes his eyes. Within minutes, the ground trembles. A golem of rock and earth, 10 feet tall with fists the size of boulders, pulls itself from the ground. It is a walking fortress, a being of pure, brute force born from a deeper layer of Raito's dream. It lumbers forward, shrugging off sword strikes as if they were mosquito bites, and scatters his attackers with devastating, earth-shattering blows. The longer Raito sleeps, the more his power escalates. A 30-minute nap could conjure a majestic griffin, soaring through the sky with razor-sharp talons, capable of tearing through defenses and striking from above with terrifying speed and grace. An hour of deep sleep might manifest a legion of spectral warriors, clad in ethereal armor and wielding swords of cold light, an unstoppable phantom army that overwhelms any mortal force. But this power comes at an extreme cost. Every time Raito unleashes a dream monster, he walks a razor's edge. The deeper he sleeps, the more he risks losing control. His nightmares are not just monsters, they are reflections of his deepest fears, his trauma, and his loneliness. The serpent that destroyed his village was born from a child's imagination. What horrors could the mind of a traumatized, isolated young man create? There is always the chance he could dream up something far worse than the immediate threat, a creature of pure chaos, a being of such immense power that it could not be contained, one that would not fade away when the danger passed. He could dream up another catastrophe, or something that turns on him, its own creator. Furthermore, the state of deep sleep leaves his physical body completely vulnerable, a helpless form lying on the ground while his mental projections wage war. If an enemy manages to get past his dream guardian, it's all over. So Raito's journey is one of constant balance. He is a boy who wields an apocalyptic power, but is terrified to use it. He is a hero who must become his most vulnerable to be at his most powerful. Every battle is a gamble, not just with his life, but with the very safety of the world around him. He must carefully measure the threat and decide just how deep he dares to dream. A few seconds too long, a talisman removed too many, could be the difference between salvation and total annihilation. This is the incredible paradox of Raito Mugen, a boy whose greatest strength is his deepest vulnerability, a wanderer who must weaponize his own nightmares to survive. His story is a thrilling and poignant exploration of power, control, and the heavy price of a gift that is also an unforgivable curse. He is the boy who dreams enemies into reality, forever battling the monsters on the outside and the even greater ones lurking within. What do you think? What kind of creature would you want to see Raito dream up next? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into incredible characters. See you next time.